Oh, it's Tom Myers, Superintendent of the Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa, coming to you with this week's Believe in the Blue update. Wanted to give you a board meeting update from last night, some different things we talked about. In addition to that, I want to give you some information on upcoming events and things that have went on. I will start with some upcoming events that way. Tonight we have a middle school football game, first game of the year for them. That's against North Cedar here at Bellevue at 4:15. Come out and watch your 7th and 8th graders play. It's always a fun thing to watch. Thursday night we have volleyball for all levels at Northeast. Friday we have a home football game versus Durant. Football team is off to a great start this year. They're 3-0. Saturday, the high school volleyball team also off to a good start, playing some very good matches. Got second place at the tournament in Comanche last Saturday, and they have a chance to defeat Comanche, who got first place later on in the year. So that's another opportunity for us. But they play at Marquette versus Easton Valley. First game there at the tournament is at 9 o'clock. So I encourage you to come out to that. Excuse me. On Monday evening, there's a home volleyball match for the junior high versus Monticello. Then we also have JV and varsity versus Monticello. We also have our home cross country meet, also off to a great start. Cameron Ray is the #1 ranked runner in Class 1A for girls. So, we also have some other very good runners at the girls level and boys level. That way, so I encourage you to come out to that. If you've never been to cross country meet, this is a great opportunity. Should be a great night to watch some races out there and on a very good cross country course as well. So come out to that. We have fresh soft volleyball at Northeast. They're in a little tournament there with Northeast, Cal Wheat, and Easton Valley. But then we also have our JV and varsity playing Monticello at home that night, and the JV starts at 6 o'clock that way. Remember, middle school starts at 4:15. And we also have a JV football game at home that night versus Durant. So a lot of things going on Monday night that way. But I'll give you an update next week on some other things going on. But one thing to remember, we do have homecoming week coming up next week that way. We have a parade on Friday at 2:45. Line up for that if anyone's interested is at 2:15. If you have a group that wants to be in the parade, please contact the school and ask for the student council president, Kylie Biederman, or Matt Yeager or Ken Anderson, the two advisors. So we'll have that. We have the game on Friday night. We also have a steak dinner that night with ribeye steaks, cheesy potatoes, and some other things like that. It begins at 6 o'clock out of the concession stand at the football field. If you just want to come in and have a sandwich or something like that, you can do that and then leave. You don't have to stay around for the game. I encourage you to, obviously, but you don't have to. Then the dance for the students is on Saturday night from 8 to 11. September 28th, we have a three-hour early dismissal that way for teacher professional learning. So students get out early. And then October 12th and 13th, about a little more than a week away from the quarter there, we have our parent-teacher conference to check up on how your students are doing. I encourage you to go to that. You'll be getting some things in the mail if you're an elementary parent to go see the teachers at a certain time. Middle school, high school, you just come out here anytime you want between 3:30 and 8 to visit with the teachers that way. So you kind of have that idea there. So going from there. We had two board meetings last night. The first one, pretty short, is the Andrew joint board meeting that we have with the Andrew Community School District. We talk about the students that come over. We have 20 students who we whole grades share with Andrew right now in grades 9 through 12. Things have been going well. We talked about some of the funding that we get for them from the 1 cent money. And that's about $20,000. And some of that is we've used it for some of the bond payments for the new addition here, for some computer workstations in Mrs. Weber's area, the collaborative furniture that we utilize in Mr. Yeager's collaboration room. Mr. Yeager's in there a lot, but we use it for other things. We're using it tonight for a school improvement meeting. I'll talk about in a little bit. And we use it for just projectors and a variety of other things that way, but it gives you an idea of what we're doing. Then we just talked about having that continuing, that agreement continuing. Both sides felt good. That's a good opportunity for the students. Maquoketa students can either choose to whole grade share with Andrew students can either choose to whole grade share with the Maquoketa Community School District or the Bellevue Community School District. We talk about reasons why they may go other places, and really we have no idea. We try to offer them the best we possibly can, and it's usually about a 50-50 split between the two, depending on the year that way. So anyway, want to let you know some other things that we talked about last night at the meeting. We had our consent agenda. Michael Steinis will be the assistant cross-country coach. We approved some open enrollment ins and some open enrollment outs for both this year and next year. We talked about board meeting dates and times that way. We're going to continue with the second Monday of the month at 6:30. We're also going to have a student council or a student representative. This year they happen to be from student council, but we'll have two high school student council representatives. They're non-voting members, but they will be on the board. That will be Kylie Biederman and Peter Kilberg that way. So they will be at the board meeting, sitting at the table with the board members. And I'll be meeting with them shortly again to just review what their thoughts are and things like that. But we'll have constant review on a monthly basis. I'll meet with them to help them as part of their process for learning about how government works. The school board is a local government, I guess you could say, but to just see what their perceptions are that way. So we had two comic curriculum presentations last night. One was by the Bellevue Heart and Soul Committee. That was Clara Sieverding and Laura McCool, part of that group, and I've been part of that group as well, along with a couple other teachers here, Kurt Ernst and Matt Yeager. I've been to the last few meetings. What they're trying to do is just get Bellevue at an area where people want to come back to when youth leave. They want to come back after they go to college. What attracts them back to Bellevue? And the goal is to talk to all different groups within Bellevue. What makes Bellevue great? Why do you live here? What do you wish Bellevue had? What would make Bellevue better? Things like that. I could tell you a lot more about that, but it's probably for some other time. There'll be some articles in the paper in the next few weeks that way. It's just getting started now, but we were presented a grant for $47,000 to help develop this program. We're actually coming up with a little different name than Bellevue Heart and Soul, but we've been involved with that. Also, be working with the Center for Rural Entrepreneurship for our youth and find out what students value and what will help the community prosper in the future. Along with that, we had three students from Bellevue Big talk about their Big Buddies program. Kylie Biederman, Mason Lyons, and Alex Ernst talked about their program that will pair sophomores, juniors, and seniors with fourth, fifth, and sixth graders in the future that way. And very good program that they want to be sustainable in the future as well. And they'll be talking to some businesses for support and some other organizations like that way. But a very good program in many ways. Talked about the Cole Park, a renovation project that the school has been involved in. We've put in just less than $15,000. In fact, $14,820.57. That was split basically even between the Bellevue schools, the city of Bellevue, and Marquette Catholic. So that is a positive thing. When we were looking to put up lights at our diamond, or at a baseball diamond that does not have lights, and that was going to be roughly $225,000 to do that. We also needed to update our softball lights, which even though we have lights there right now, is probably going to end up being another $75,000 roughly. We're looking at a $300,000 project overall, and we actually end up with better fields, a better diamond, better area to watch games, everything like that at Cole Park, and it went very well the first year. We will have to be doing some fertilizing, seeding like that this fall, and into the spring. There are some other things we'd like to have done in the future, just that may have to hold off a year or so to make sure we have the funds for that. The Bellevue School Board has committed up to $40,000 to do these things, and really it was for this first $15,000 aspect. Excuse me. One real positive thing, the community's been very involved with this, from volunteering with the Bellevue Braves, who are doing a seating project right now. They will be putting actual stadium seating at the baseball diamond for somewhere between 100 and 150 people. That is still being determined overall. We actually have a meeting about that this afternoon, so that is something going on that way. So a lot of great things happening at Cole Park. We talked about facilities overall that way, and we're going to have a special work session for facilities for the school district on September 28th at 7 o'clock here in the boardroom. We have a variety of different things we're looking at what to do with the music room, looking to do with what the elementary, do we have plans for the elementary, do we have just general things like that. We need to put a roof on the middle school this upcoming summer. We already know that, and just talking about that and trying to lay some priorities out for the future that way. And taking some time allocated just for that for the board to talk, and anyone else is invited to come to that session as well. Let's talk about Comet School Finance Overview. I discussed with the board the overall financial situation of the school district, along with our business manager, Penny Meeninger, talked about that way and gave overall cash reports for us. When we talk about spending authority, our spending authority went down about $75,000 last year. We're still at Still $1,786,565 in some sense, roughly. It gives you an idea of where we're at that way. We went down from 1.8 million. In the past years, we've been 1.8, 2.0, 1.5, 1.1. We're still in a solid position, but there are some things that we may need to do in the future to make sure that we continue in a strong manner that way as a district. But we need to see where enrollment ends up. Right now, we look like we're up in enrollment, but the official count is October 3rd, so we're trying to figure that out. And we also need to see what state aid is, which sometimes we have to make our budget up before we know what state aid is. So it's another story. Special education, we do have a deficit in special education this year, which is not unusual for school districts across Iowa. It is somewhat unusual for Bellevue, but we've had some higher costs in the last few years that way that have ate into that. But that is something that we will get spending authority to spend the cash on that we already have. It's just a matter of getting the authority. So we'll be increasing our authority, which basically means me making an application to the school budget, the school budget review committee, and them approving it, which it's a formality that way. So nothing too major there, but we have a deficit there of around $70,000, $75,000 there. But that's just a matter of asking for the spending authority to spend the money we have, which we can get extra authority for that. We also approved an agreement with the Maquoketa Community School District and Lawther Academy to send students there who have behavioral needs potentially for their education. The board appointed Tom Meyer, me, as the affirmative action coordinator for the district, which is a formality as a whole. Also talked to the IASB School Board Convention and Board Delegate Assembly. The Delegate Assembly, Kevin Lundeen, our school board president, will attend on November 16th, and on Thursday, November 17th, we will be attending, or some of us will be attending the convention, specifically myself, Kevin Lundeen, and then board member Mike Reed for sure, and maybe some other ones as well. Also up attending the National School Board Convention in Denver, Colorado this year. That is March 25th through 27th. We will ask for final who's going to actually go to that so I can register on October 12th. But we will be attending in some manner that way with some board members. We went over the Iowa assessment and ACT results and APR goals. I will put those online for you. We did not meet our APR goals of sixth grade improving. This has been an area of weakness for us the last few years, along with across the state of Iowa. The sixth grade, from fifth to sixth grade, there tends to be a drop in scores for whatever reason across the state of Iowa. And we did not have a significant drop in some years, but we did have a drop there yet. We're still working on. We've been offering more and more assistance to kids. And one question a board member asked is, what do we use these results for? Well, it's really to look at these results along with other educational information and try to design a program to help students out the best way possible. So looking at that, but I will put all that information online for you that way, along with my narrative that goes with that. Also about ACT results, remember every student in the Bellevue Community School District, by the time they graduate, takes the ACT, typically their junior year. We pay for that. We pay the fee for that, which is around $50. Our scores compared to the state are lower. Main reason for that, not to make excuses, but we give it to every kid. And we require every student to take it. We did see some increases in every other area except we saw increases in math, science, and reading. Saw a decrease in English. Not really sure about that, but Jody Kilberg, our instructional coach for literacy, has looked at that very carefully, working very thoroughly with the English department that way, and they are already addressing that need. And I really truly anticipate some good things happening there in the future that way. So you know that you see that. It's why do we give it? We want to see where kids are at, and we also want kids to see where they're at. You know, sometimes students don't think they can go to college. Well, yes, you can. You have the capabilities to do it. Or, finding out some of their strength areas. Maybe I scored really high in science or math and never really thought about those as potential college majors or something to do with those as majors, and it gives them an idea. So anytime you take an assessment, it's not just that assessment, but it's several of the assessments put together, which are important. Beginning of the year update, just talk about enrollment. We seem to be up some right now. Where right now, at the current time, we've had a couple move-ins, move-outs since school year started. It looks like we're probably up about 5 to 7 students right now in the district, which is good. We'll take that. We also discussed the aspect of transportation. We did reduce one bus route this year. That seems to be going okay. We're actually going to add a stop along 2nd Street. We already stopped at Jackson Park Drive and Sunrise Court. We're also going to stop down the line a little bit there down along 2nd Street by the light plant. And that'll be starting up next week. So just so you're aware of that. Uh, so that's one thing going that way. Homecoming coming up here. I think I put online some homecoming dress up days, but they're anywhere from Monday is Jocks and Nerds, Tuesday's Business vs. Farmer, Wednesday is Class Distinction Day with a specific color for classes, Thursday is Animal Day. Don't ask me what they're dressing like that day. I really can't tell you. Friday, obviously, is the Blue and White Spirit Day. December board meeting is going to be on Tuesday, December 13th now. We have a concert on Monday, December 12th, so information on that. School Improvement Advisory Council meeting tonight. Anyone is invited to attend. I sent out about 50 invitations for that, probably some between 40 and 50 invitations. But that's tonight. We're actually going to meet briefly in the middle school, high school commons. Then we're going to go over to the collaboration room that way. Student and coach conduct, I think I mentioned this before. We talked about that we were one of 52% of the schools across the state of Iowa, roughly about 170 schools that received a letter saying we did not have any coach or student athletes get ejected from a game, which is, I still find shocking that over 50 or nearly 50% of the schools across the state of Iowa had someone ejected. It's just not acceptable. And it can happen, and it may happen here, but we want to not have that happen. Let's put it that way. I'll start with the AEA, the Mississippi Bend Area Education Agency Board Administrator Banquet. That is going to be on Wednesday, October 12th, and the person talking will be Matt Miller. He actually wrote the book called Ditch That Textbook, which I'll share with you in the future, some different things about that. And just overall, that was about the meeting. We had a few other things going on, but those are the major highlights of it. I've talked long enough, 16 minutes and 28 seconds as I look at it, so we need to get going here. But I want to let everyone know what's going on. These are a little longer always, or actually quite a bit longer than the board meeting nights. We had a lot of things on the board meeting agenda. Next meeting is Monday, October 10th at 6:30. If anyone has any questions, as normal, give us a call. We're here to help you out that way. But believe in the blue. We're strong. We have a strong tradition of pride and excellence that way, and we need to continue that in the future. So have a great one, everyone.